what's up guys, it's Alex.
And Srisheel.
From the Suave Gang here, and today we are going to be discussing Avengers Endgame, the fourth installment in the Avengers series and the 22nd overall in the MCU. This movie has become a fucking, cultural icon. It has made $1.2 billion
in opening weekend. Holy crap. In 5 days it made that much. Like, the fastest movie in, history to ever gross $1
We both seen it once, right? You saw it Thursday.
Yeah, I've seen it once. And we both most likely are gonna see it again. I'm pretty sure. I don't know when yet, but that's for sure.
So before we talk about Endgame, let's talk about the movie that directly preceded it, Infinity War. Now, I fucking loved Infinity War so much. I definitely a 10 out of 10 movie. I would say it's a better movie than Endgame, but I think I like Endgame more. How did you feel about Infinity War?
Infinity War was a great movie. It's not at all it's actually really great, but I'm gonna have to give it a 7.5. For me personally, all these characters into one was a great idea, but the execution has to be flawless in order if you want to do something that big. So, there's all these different things going on, which makes it so overwhelming for you to watch. Gamora's here, Star-Lord, Iron Man, they're all on Titan, and then, Captain America, Black Panther, Wakanda, then, Gamora's with Thanos and for the souls. All this stuff happens, and it's just kind of confusing to watch, and Thor's doing his own thing. But it's a great movie. The combination of, Infinity War with Endgame, the whole Avengers, that was a perfect two movies together.
And I do think that this movie did benefit from having a smaller, tighter cast for the majority of the movie until the end. By the way, complete fucking spoilers.
Yeah, this
video.
Is fuck spoiler free shit. We can't really talk about the movie if we can't talk about the movie.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
It's impossible. It's almost impossible to do spoiler-free stuff because so much happens in the first 15 to 20 minutes.
I know, and then I just love it. The whole combination, the contrast is this shit is Infinity War's overwhelming as fuck, and this one's more a smooth okay, now after I've been through all that, just you get time to go through them, and it's very mature movie. It's it's not a super. I wouldn't call this a superhero movie at all. Would you, Alex?
I would call it a superhero movie, but I would say it's a different type of superhero movie. If you look at an Avengers 1 or Avengers 2, that can be catered towards
the younger
kids. But it feels like Endgame and Infinity War, it's almost grown up with us who were in 4th, 5th, 6th grade when the first Avengers came out, and now we're about to go to college. We're in our late high school years.
And guess what? When Avengers first came out, me and Alex were both in the same class. We were in 5th grade at the time, and we were
in 4th or 5th?
5th. Oh, I remember. I remember it was 5th.
It was 5th. Yeah, you're right.
And we were so fucking hyped about it. It was the first Avengers movie, and we were so hyped. All these 6 heroes coming together, and what do you say? 10 years later, I think. Not even 10. It's less than 10. Whatever. Yeah, something. Now we're in 12th grade, and now we were just as hyped as Endgame to wrap it off, and it was. I never gave my rating, right? I would not rate Endgame. I don't know why. I just can't bring myself to give a rating to that
I would give it
masterpiece.
A 10. So Srisheel, let's start off with the first little segment of the movie. Tony and Nebula are trapped on the ship, get rescued by Captain Marvel, go back to Earth. They all go to kill Thanos, chop off his head after he destroys the Infinity Stones. How did you feel about this part of the movie?
I thought it was really nice. So, again, I was saying earlier that earlier in the trailer, when I saw the trailer for the first time, I really didn't want to watch the trailer, by the way. I had to. All the scenes from the trailer, the majority of them were from the first 20 minutes. So, and I'm like, this is great. That's awesome. Now I don't have to worry about, seeing this, thinking something else.
It wasn't a Spider-Man Homecoming situation.
Yeah, Spider-Man, the whole movie. What's that? Oh, Hobbs and Shaw. Hobbs and Shaw. Bruh.
That movie looks
I saw the movie
awesome.
for free, and I got the summary of it in 3 minutes just by watching the entire trailer. From beginning to end. Avengers wasn't like that, and I knew they were being smart about it by not giving the end, obviously. But anyways, back to topic. I thought it was awesome how the confrontation between Captain America and Iron Man. They haven't met each other since Civil War, right? And so when they meet each other again, it's not lovey-dovey, and it's not they don't make up in the end or anything. They still have their barriers. They still, as you said, Iron Man still tells Captain America I told you so what was going on, and it was just great. It was so natural. And Thanos, holy fucking
Wait, going back
shit.
to the Tony and Captain America thing, did you notice how fucking skinny Tony was?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because he was, like, malnourished and all that. He hasn't been eating well. Like, but those were one of the other subtle things that, like, that was really, like,
another little something I like was when, like, Nebula and Rocket, when they first saw each other, they didn't even say words. They just, like, sat down and, like, held hands.
They had a thing together?
No, it was just like we thought like Rocket and Nebula both lost their entire family basically.
Yeah, they mourned together.
Oof. One thing I did not see coming in a million fucking years.
Oh my god.
Was Thor fucking just chopping off Thanos' head.
I think Thor had a special role in this movie. Like from beginning to fucking end, like the shit he does, it's like it's so different from a superhero and the Thor stereotype. Like you see Thor in Avengers Assemble and Age of Ultron and what's that bullshit? Yeah, the Dark World. I love the fucking transformation Thor had. Like I'd say if like there's any award called the most improved actor or most improved superhero, hands down to go to Thor.
Also that like you can tell in the beginning, like upon like rewatches, Thor is depressed. In this, he does not move until they come up with a plan to stop Thanos. And once when he does, I aim for the head. Some people took it as a joke, but like he was just devoid of emotion. It was amazing. He was fucking broken. And when and then the next segment of the movie, when it's like the reestablishment, when it's the 5 years later, we see where all our heroes are now 5 years after Thanos' snap. We see Thor has become like an alcoholic. He's overweight. Because he's coping with the depression of basically being responsible for half of the universe being wiped out because he didn't kill Thanos.
Forgot the most important part. He was yelling at Fortnite players.
He was.
That was amazing.
What was it, like a Noob Slayer 69 or something?
I don't remember, but that shit was funny. That was actually pretty funny. I genuinely enjoyed Thor, and then like when I did not expect Thanos to be killed in the first 20 minutes. Yeah. Like that gives you a mysterious like what the fuck is the problem of the movie if they kill Thanos? What's gonna happen? You have that curiosity in you, and that's amazing. Like fighting an unknown problem. At least the audience didn't know what the problem was. At least for me, but that's what I loved about the movie. Thanos getting killed.
Yeah, insane. And then shout out to that rat who pressed those buttons and got Ant-Man out of the quantum realm. Because if that didn't happen...
I don't... Yeah, I probably missed that part. Everyone's talking about it, and I just can't... I probably missed that. I need to see that shit again.
But I really like seeing, like, the fallout from this. Like, even, like, 5 years later, like, the area around the Statue of Liberty and, like, the harbor in New York, it's all fucked up still. There are, like, boats that have crashed. Yeah. There's just a bunch of shit that, like people are still being, like, extremely affected by this. If half of the planet gets wiped out, the entire world would be fucked.
And I loved Infinity War and Endgame is because it shows that superheroes aren't perfect. They're not any. They have powers which make them different, but really they're the same. They act the same as us. They mourn too. They lose. They're not perfect people. They all have flaws in them too, and that's the way they project. Russo's projected that. I thought was amazing. Like each character has their own. They're all complex characters. It's not like fucking I'm Superman. I always win when I do what I want. And like, dude, like they always win. Like superheroes movies, like they always see the good side and they always win. Like, but it's so much more deeper than that, which is why I loved Avengers. It broke all that stereotypes.
We are also introduced to Professor Hulk, who I really fucking liked.
It was actually, I did not expect that at all. I didn't expect any of the transformation with the Hulk and Thor and any of those characters in this movie.
Yeah, I was just expecting. I think it was like leaked maybe that Professor Hulk would be in the movie, but I thought it would be more of a transformation over time, not a 5-year jump. He's Professor Hulk now.
Yeah, and they did characterize him really strongly since after Infinity War. I'll be honest with you, I really didn't like Hulk. Neither Hulk nor Bruce Banner.
Because I didn't like either we said that ever since Ragnarok, Mark Ruffalo's acting has been a bit off, and I thought it was off too in the beginning of this movie. But once he was Professor Hulk, then I think it was the acting was much better. I wouldn't
necessarily say Mark Ruffalo's acting, but like the characterization he was given, I would say it's more of that.
Yeah, but the way he delivered his lines was a bit weird.
Yeah, the delivery was I don't know, man. It was cringy to watch. Like the humor, by Mark Ruffalo and Infinity War, I didn't like as much, but Endgame, I really it was a special movie. It was like all these. I saw it Thursday opening night, like not even opening, like first premiere night, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, I saw it Thursday night, and then like everyone asked me Friday, and I just said it was a special movie, like. No rating to this day. It was a masterpiece.
To this day, like 3 or 4 days later.
4 days later, yeah. And I still say it's a masterpiece.
But one thing I thought was interesting was the only person who seems to have, like, whose life seems to be better now was Iron Man.
Better now?
Yeah, it was better. I would say.
Oh, yeah. His life improved. And that was amazing because he had everything, unlike the other superheroes. And yet he decides to sacrifice himself.
Yeah. Because of Spider-Man, because he saw that picture of Spider-Man, he's like, I gotta bring back Spider-Man.
He felt like it was on him, but that's what I loved. I mean, it makes, if you didn't have anything, that's okay, but he had everything. There was no need for him to come at all. He could have just left when they came for him about the time machine, time theory bullshit. He should have just, he did say no, but like he shouldn't have ever like associated with them, but he did, and that's for a larger than life message.
Yeah, and then they do all the time travel stuff. Let's just get right into the time periods that they visited.
Definitely.
My absolute favorite out of everything they visited was the first Avengers movie in New York.
Battle of New York. You bet that better be your favorite. I was about to say, like, that was one of the highlights of the film.
Yeah. I was not expecting the Ancient One to show up.
Really?
Yeah.
I totally forgot she even existed. Like, I had no idea. But yeah.
The way that they explain the time travel and how time travel works in the MCU made perfect sense to me. I know it didn't to some people, but like I get it, and I think it was a pretty like interesting way and kind of more realistic way to portray time travel.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see the movie again. I focus on the time travel. I knew the concept, but I didn't like put my mind in everything. I just wanted to focus on the plot as a whole, what was going on, and I wanted to see the ending. So I'm gonna have to do a deeper analysis on the time travel theory. But what do you think about it so far? Like, so you want to give a summary of what it is?
I mean, basically how it works in the MCU is that there's like every single change to the time stream makes an alternate universe. Mm-hmm. So when you make a change to the time stream, it doesn't affect you or your past, but it affects the future of everyone in that time stream. So that's why when Nebula killed herself, or it didn't kill future Nebula, it only killed past Nebula, because for future Nebula, that never happened in her timeline.
So, and then they didn't want to make parallel universes, right? Or parallel worlds?
Yeah, because I think the Ancient One's point was, after you change time, what will happen to our universe? And what happens when Thanos comes to our universe? Mm-hmm. And then Bruce Banner was like, "Hey, we can just put the Infinity Stones back to where they were." I also
really clever.
But the best part of New York was the Captain America stuff.
Oh, don't even get me started. From that bit
where he were in the elevator shit. That was such a good callback.
Hail Hydra!
You're such a fucking loser. To the bit where they set the Loki TV show by having him escape with the Tesseract. Because I'm actually really excited for that.
I genuinely love Loki. Like, over the years, I've really started to... I became attached to all these characters. Like not... I don't know. I don't like the Guardians as much, but, like Thor... I really became attached to Thor's world. Like, after seeing Ragnarok and everything. Captain America versus Captain America. Who would have ever thought we would have seen that?
Yeah, I mean, it's an old superhero time travel trope that they fight themselves.
It was amazing. And I liked... Another time travel thing, the sequence was the Howard Stark and Peggy Carter.
Yeah, that was really good. Seeing Iron Man like finally be able to get some like more closure with his dad, especially after what was revealed in Civil War.
This ties up all loose ends, and like you never thought he would encounter his father again.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of this was send off to both Captain America and
Iron Man
because they're both out of the MCU now.
And I don't know. The whole movie was very symbolic and poetic, in my opinion. Yeah. Like everything, like the fact that Iron Man had a daughter was very poetic to me, and it meant a lot because like he had everything. It was the best for him, and it shows like his maturity over time.
Yeah, and then let's get to the Thor and Asgard stuff. Now this I didn't really find that interesting until Thor had the conversation with his mom, and then I really liked it because it was like Thor getting back into the character that he used to be mentally.
Yeah, this was a kind of like a revival for Thor's mindset. Yeah. And only like a loved one can give you that support again, I'd say. So that's why it was crucial for him to encounter his mother.
Yeah, and I also liked how they brought Mjolnir back because of the payoff that we fucking get.
That which we'll get into amazing. Later. Holy shit.
Oh, let's skip over Morag.
A few most of the sequence. Yeah, really this is just usually build up for everything that happens in the end.
The Vormir shit with Hawkeye and fucking Black Widow was really well done.
I honestly did not see this coming at all. Like I knew they were making a Black movie, TV show, or movie, one of those. I forget which one. And I thought Black Widow would survive and Hawkeye would die. Like, I genuinely... The way they built it up, too, right? The way they built it up. I thought it was Hawkeye that was the one to go. And I was like, oh, no, man. But when Black Widow was the one that actually fell down, I don't know. I was speechless. Like,
yeah. I really liked Hawkeye in this movie. I liked Hawkeye since Civil War. I started to like him more in Age of Ultron, like, as a character. But
are you kidding me? He was your favorite in Avengers Assemble.
I said as a character, and that was because Avengers was my first ever Marvel movie I saw, and Hawkeye was like Green Arrow. But as a character, I started liking him in Age of Ultron, and then in Civil War I really liked him, and in this I liked him even more.
I don't know. I didn't really focus too much on Hawkeye. Like, I loved him in Civil War though. Civil War was probably my favorite Hawkeye out of every other Hawkeye.
And just like. It was like, they did the same scene from Infinity War with Gamora lying on the fucking ground and Black Widow lying on the ground. That shot in both movies is fucking brutal.
Both of them.
Especially for a damn Disney movie because it's like...
They're both females too. Like, I'm not saying, I don't know. Just, dang.
Like, you see like the blood pooling around them. Like, it's extremely violent. Same with like Thanos getting his fucking head chopped off. Because when Nebula plays that back, you see a bit of blood spurt out of his neck.
They're just... I love the way they're doing this. It's so different from regular superhero movies. And that's what's amazing. Like, I can see a million Shazams. Like, and it wouldn't affect me. Like, okay, I forgot about what they are. And, like, one of this... It's so different. That's why Marvel's... Like, I really like Marvel. The MCU in general.
And then 2014 Thanos comes. And that was really interesting. I was not expecting that. But I fuck with that armor heavy. That armor looks so damn cool.
I actually think so. But I don't know. I feel like... what surprised me was how Thanos understood his situation so fast. Thanos in the past. Like, he knew about the whole thing. And it's almost as if they projected Thanos, who didn't know anything, to, like, who knew everything within, like, a really short amount of time.
Well, I think this Thanos, I think... just didn't have as much like solo time by himself as the other as the Thanos did in Infinity War. We only saw Thanos in the Endgame when he was fighting other people, and I think he talked and behaved very similarly to when he was fighting people
in Infinity War. Exactly.
I don't see the big change that people are talking about.
No, I'm saying. In the past, I assume that by the time, like, if Flash, like, go back to, like, time where Thanos and Nebula, you know that scene, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he didn't even have his purpose at the time.
He definitely did. That was only 4 years.
Okay, well, I honestly didn't know he had a purpose back then. But, like, the fact that he knew so much about all the Infinity Stones and, like, he got them together, he literally had them all almost at a point, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was looking for the Power Stone at that point. He already was in possession of the Tesseract at one point. But he was in possession of the Mind Stone at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Because he gave the scepter to Loki. Because he's a fucking dumbass.
But, I love the way they built him up in Infinity War, so you know his motives, his personality and stuff. and they not as much like Infinity War. I'd say like it's an exposition film, like but what happens here.
Infinity War was Thanos' movie. This is the Avengers movie.
Yeah, this is the whole film from scene 1 to scene end, whatever.
Scene end,
yeah, like it's just a nostalgia. Like, doesn't that hit you hard?
Yeah, and then the Avengers return to the present, build their own gauntlet, and snap everyone back to life. How'd you feel about that?
The Iron Man does that?
No.
No.
I'm talking about when the Hulk does it.
Oh, he snaps everyone back into life.
Yeah. Like how'd you?
I didn't know they snapped everyone back. I thought I didn't think it worked. Remember, Hulk fell down. I didn't know. I thought it only worked when Iron Man did it in the end.
But then how did everyone else come back, Srisheel?
Yeah, that's the point. I didn't know how everyone they just randomly came out of those holes.
Yeah.
That was the Hulk snap.
That was the Hulk snap. Because remember the Hulk snap had the birds. And Hawkeye's wife called him.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes so much more sense. That was great, and it was, but not as impactful as the King, who does it in the end. Who snaps it in the end.
Well, I think that this has more of an impact later, because that scene where all the heroes come back through the Doctor Strange portals is a fucking amazing scene.
Yeah, in my opinion, that was the best final battle of all time.
That was
my
good.
favorite
Let's
of
get
all
into the final
time.
battle. Just Thor and Iron Man and Captain America versus Thanos where they started out. Thanos was fucking destroying them.
It was. He really was. And then all that, the Chitauri, the aliens, what are the aliens called? Outriders, yeah.
Holy crap. The best fucking moment in MCU history. Thanos is pushing Stormbreaker into Thor, and then Mjolnir hits Thanos, and then it fucking goes back, and you see Captain America Mjolnir.
Dude, I
got hyped as shit.
Holy crap. I don't think I've screamed that loud in my life, and I don't think anyone was watching the screen. They were watching what the fuck happened in the theater. They thought someone was dying. Like, holy shit, dude. That was... And then the best, even better than that in my opinion, Thor was like, I knew it.
Yeah.
That statement could not have been more appropriate.
Like, Captain America just fucking...
Such a throwback.
He was mopping the floor with Thanos for a solid 30 seconds before Thanos broke his fucking shield.
Holy
and just
crap.
Almost beat him to fucking death.
That was amazing.
And then right after that, all the heroes come.
They say that in order to be worthy, only the purest of hearts or something.
Some shit
like
that.
So you can... Obviously, we all know Captain America inside out now.
Yeah, and then all the heroes come back, starting with Black Panther. Then we got Spider-Man coming back.
Spider-Man was a killing machine. Did you see that?
He went and killed him from Homecoming.
Oh, dang.
And then they're all trying to keep the gauntlet away from Thanos. First it was Hawkeye, then Black Panther, then Spider-Man, then Captain Marvel had it. Before eventually Thanos got it, and then he almost did the snap. Did you see that one bit where like Captain Marvel was attacking Thanos, and then fucking Thanos took out the Power Stone and punched Captain Marvel in the face with it?
Yeah, that was
crap. Fucking awesome. And like there were like 3 times where he almost did the snap.
Remember that scene where like it was like Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, all the girls from the MCU? That was amazing. That was one of the best scenes.
That bit where Scarlet Witch almost did a fucking Mortal Kombat fatality
on
Thanos. She almost fucking ripped his arms and legs off. Scarlet Witch was the only person I think in all these movies to get Thanos like shook.
That was amazing, guys. Like honestly, I could not have appreciated that battle much more.
Yeah, and then it sadly ends when Iron Man.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
Iron Man says, "I'm Iron Man," snaps his fingers, and then disintegrates Thanos' entire army and Thanos himself. And then he dies in the process.
Let's give like 30 seconds of silence for Iron Man.
No,
Robert
fuck that.
Fuck you.
So, I really like how they did his death. I really fucking liked it.
Like, he was the foundation for the MCU. He was the foreman of the Avengers. He was a reason Marvel thrived and became who they were. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And that man, he led this 11-year legacy, and he finally ended himself. No, who would have the balls to play Iron Man again in the future?
No one.
Like at least for 30 years, who would have the balls?
Robert Downey Jr. has.
I would say, like...
He's at least top 3 superhero castings of all time.
Definitely.
I wouldn't say he's 1, but he's definitely top 3.
Definitely. And,
You
Iron Man...
know who 1 is, right? Fucking J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh my god.
So perfect.
I actually really like him as him too.
So perfect.
I'd say, over the years, Robert Downey Jr., became Iron Man. Literally, he became Tony Stark.
Yeah.
He embodied the role of Tony Stark.
The two lines that impacted me the most in Infinity War and Endgame were with Spider-Man lines. When in Infinity War, it was the classic, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
And in Endgame, it was Mr. Stark, we won.
Oh, that was amazing.
Tony was so dead, I couldn't tell when he was dead yet.
That scene made me okay, guys. I'll be honest with you. I never cried in a movie theater, and this was the first time tears came out, and I was bawling holy crap. I was mourning the whole of Friday too. Friday was bad. Saturday was bad. Sunday I got a little better, and today
Game of Thrones came out on Sunday.
Yeah. Holy, this was a very emotional time, and Iron Man's death, it impacted everybody, guys, and oof. Yeah. Something one will remember. One for the books for sure.
That death looked fucking brutal. Half his fucking face was burnt and shit.
That death was so impactful, right? You could have it was so solemn, so grave. The life was gone out of him.
Yeah.
Dude, Pepper Potts came. And she was helping fight Thanos.
That did happen.
Holy crap, that was amazing too.
That did happen. Literally, that final battle had almost every single surviving character in it who was able to fight.
Wasn't that final battle everybody in the MCU except for Vision, Loki, and
everyone who wasn't dead?
Yeah. That was
even just factions the Ravagers from the Guardian series were in the fight. And
wow, I know everybody. Holy crap!
I was surprised we didn't get a Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, because they weren't in Wakanda.
Well, they could still say
Wakanda they could still say that. I don't know. Black Panther 2 is gonna be hype. Spider-Man Far From Home is gonna be hype.
I think Chadwick Boseman might kill himself if he has to say Wakanda Forever again.
Wakanda Forever.
But going past that funeral scene was fucking heartbreaking.
That whole sequence, ever since the death of Iron Man to the ending of the movie. Nobody said a word. Nobody in my theater at least said a single word. Everyone, it was just an emotional time. And
then after the end of Iron Man,
we have his legacy.
The ending of Captain America.
He passed his legacy to Falcon, who is Sam Wilson.
Yep.
Is he your brother by any chance?
He is not. He is not my brother.
Okay.
Mainly because we are different races.
That's true.
I really like that. At first, I thought it was a bit out of character for Captain America, but I think it's a fitting end for him.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about his ending. I mean, I was all focused on Iron Man and stuff, and honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I liked it or not, to be honest with you. It was obviously sad to see him end, but the way they portrayed it, do you think they could have portrayed it better? About him turning old, sitting on that bench. That whole part was a little it was all left for interpretation, in my opinion. That some parts, because there was no, it was a gray area.
Yeah, it was definitely not what I was expecting.
Yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting, especially. Oh no, I knew they had to do something with him. There's no way Captain America would continue to becoming an Avenger. Yeah. And the way they built it up, when Thanos was fighting Captain America, I thought it was the end of Captain America. Didn't you think he was gonna die?
I thought Captain America was gonna get beaten to death.
Everybody I talked to said Captain America was gonna die,
including me.
Yeah, literally, Alex was the one who brainwashed me into believing that. Oh, do you know? Okay, I'll take the credit for this. Probably right after Infinity War, I'm the one who called out Iron Man was gonna die, Captain America was gonna retire. Alex can vouch for that. Alex can vouch for that. Hey, let's go. But then towards the end, before I saw it, I didn't think that would be true. But I thought the dance in the end was very poetic too. The dance was amazing, and the fact, in my opinion, I thought it would have been better if how Captain America was entering that time travel thing in the end to return the Infinity Stones. Yeah, and then they were counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Instead of Captain America showing up again on the bench, he should have just left his shield and disappeared, and in the shield say, hey,
like a note on the inside.
Exactly,
of
the note on this is for you. Hey,
I mean,
like,
there wouldn't
Falcon,
be a plot because it doesn't make sense why.
And then in the ending, it would just be him with the dance. Like, I feel like they shouldn't have shown him old and wrinkly in that talk, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that was so unexpected. Like, all these characterizations in Endgame, it were not what you expect. And it was, overall, it was, I think, a perfect way of wrapping up 11
They're calling
years.
it the Infinity Saga.
Infinity Saga. This was a mammoth. Holy crap. Do you think any superhero, like Chain or whatever, could reach this ever?
I
potentially
don't think so, but it depends on what they have for the next, I guess, like, series that they're doing. Because they got all the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. They got plenty of new characters introduced.
Yeah.
Plus, they got all the great ones they have now. They still got Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, fucking Scarlet Witch. They got a bunch of characters that they can expand on.
Exactly. And Endgame is, like, to summarize it, it's not just an ending, it's also a new beginning for many of these superheroes, too.
Yeah,
Thor joins the Guardians, right? So that's great. I would love to see that chemistry between the two groups, or, like, multiple people.
Yeah, but I think, I've said this for the past year, I think this movie would be better if it was the final Marvel movie. I think this would be a great
I could not
place
agree
to cap off the MCU. I don't think it detracts from the film, but I think the film would have been even better if it was that final movie in the MCU.
And, like, come on, man. 2 months after like, everyone died in Infinity War, Spider-Man Far From Home trailer comes out, literally.
Yeah.
And, like, oh man, so everything we've seen isn't genuine, man.
Everyone knew they were gonna come back.
Yeah, I know, but they should have waited for that. That was not the best move.
That was dumb on Sony's part.
Sony.
Yeah, so guys, in the comments, tell us what you thought about Avengers Endgame. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like this video. And tune in for probably tomorrow when our Game of Thrones Episode 3 review comes out. And even maybe, if we do it, Schoolboy Q's Crash Test album review might be coming out the day after that, but I'm not sure about that. So guys, see you next time.
Peace
like,
out.
comment, subscribe. Again, bye.
I am Iron Man.